WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us after those final four matchups. I'm Rylie Livingston. To start things off, we're going to turn things over to meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Some strong storms are moving through the area and he has a first look at our forecast. Jacob.
Renee, tight-lipped is right. That press conference was just a few hours ago, and it feels like we left with more questions than answered. But this is what we do know. It's the story we've been following since the beginning. Former Webster County Sheriff Tim Mitchell and former Chief Investigator Landon Griffin are going to prison today. When it comes to stray animals, whether they're dogs or cats, overpopulation can become a problem for any area. Now, the next 3 weeks will be busy for college towns across the state, and Starkville is no exception, Cash.
Andrea, I'm here on Conway Drive, which was hit hard during Saturday's tornado. Today, residents are picking up the pieces and trying to figure out where to go from here. Renee, we're here on Front Street in front of what used to be Tardy Furniture. Like you mentioned, this is the 6th trial of Curtis Flowers that has been thrown out. It hits you when you talk to them. They are still teenagers with plans and dreams, and now there's a hole in their storyline and in their hearts. In college sports, it's often said that championships are won in the off-season. Training and conditioning build stronger teams. Some business owners in college towns are also running with that idea. I had the chance to follow a local dancer as she tours across the country doing what she loves. It wasn't easy for her to get where she is, but she says persistence and dedication made it all possible. This street in Oxford is a hot spot for college students on the weekends, and it's the last place Allie was seen. Buford's Ridge is about 30 miles north of Oxford, and this is where a Lafayette County Sheriff's deputy found Allie's body.
Shocked, because Oxford is usually like a pretty nice and peaceful town. You know, it's a college town and it's a lot of fun, and when you hear something like this, it kind of, shakes up the community a little bit. So
shock. The word many people in Oxford are feeling after finding out Ole Miss student Allie Costell was killed.
We don't have a lot of, going on around here. Usually that's bad crime and stuff, so not like the cities. Usually we have pretty peacefulness. Usually here you got all the amenities of the city without the the crime and stuff. Usually this kind of stuff doesn't usually happen. So
the residents we talked to are hopeful Costell's family can find comfort that an arrest was made in the case.
Start the process for justice, I guess, for the family. I'm sure they're, get some, I don't know if you can get closure from that, but some kind of, peace maybe, I don't know.
I was actually kind of relieved and glad that the family could at least get some sort of sense of, closure about the situation. So, it's a good thing that they did make an arrest. So,
the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department has released few details about the investigation, leaving many to wonder what happened to the St. Louis native that was taking summer courses on campus.
It's pretty crazy, especially the way from what they say it happened and shots fired. That's brutal.
The Lafayette County Sheriff's Department is still investigating Allie's murder, and we will continue to bring details as they become available. For now, reporting in Lafayette County, Rylie Livingston, WCBI News. July 10th, 2017. This happened, taking the lives of 15 Marines and 1 sailor. The crash happened in the Mississippi Delta in Itta Bena, but their flight took off in North Carolina. To honor those fallen men, the Rucking Raider Marines are going on almost a 900-mile hike from Mississippi to North Carolina.
What we do, we take care of our own. We like to show the fallen's families that their sons and brothers and fathers and husbands are not forgotten.
10 teams will take turns walking around 8 miles a leg to bring their brothers home. They are carrying 40-pound packs full of sand and dirt, a paddle, and their battalion's flag.
We're carrying soil from the crash site, and we're going to take it back to North Carolina, and we'll plant a tree with it in remembrance of all the guys.
The week-and-a-half journey is to keep their fallen brothers' legacies alive, and they do so by taking it one step at a time.
So this is part of our tradition that when someone leaves a unit, we make this for them, and there's a long history behind it. And right here on the actual paddle, we have all the names of the fallen with the crash.
Ashley Kundrat's husband was on the plane when it went down. She says day by day, step by step, she's always thinking of her fallen Marine.
It's been really hard, but I think it's helping in our grieving process. I'm not the only wife that's doing this, and it's helping all of us. And I think it's just solidifying how much people care and how much we're still loved. And even though our guys are gone, they're still taking care of us, and we are a big family, all of us, the whole United States, and we need to come together like that.
Never seen it this bad.
Over the last 72 hours, Calhoun County has been hit hard by heavy downpour. Multiple roads are underwater, and in many places the water has reached people's homes, leaving some stranded and in need of rescue.
Mostly it's us going in with four-wheel drives and getting them out before the water gets too high, because they either did not have transportation of their own, or they had small cars where the water would come up in them, things like that. Only the one time did we have to have the boat.
That boat rescue happened on Highway 245 after a family wasn't able to evacuate in time. And the water isn't going to go down anytime soon.
Problem we're running into, yes, it has quit raining. However, the water that is north and east of us from the heavy rains that we received today still has to come down the river. So we're not sure that the river is actually crested yet. So we think it's still on the rise. So we're expecting probably another couple of inches worth of rise in water.
Rescuers are encouraging people to be smart. If you see rising water, take action before it's too late.
Just start preparing now. You don't wait till the last minute. That's what seems to get people. They wait and they put it off and procrastinate to the point where then they have to call in and hope that we can get to them. Like this morning, I referenced it again on 245. That family thought that they had time. They didn't have time. By the time they tried to leave, they didn't get 100 yards from their house, and then we weren't able to get to them, so we had to call them in.
They always imagined themselves this way, but in a split second, everything changed. And for Becca Breckenridge and Caden Cutshaw, their group of 3 is now a group of 2.
It's definitely been hard. Spending the night last night, we were talking about how weird it was.
Yeah, not having a third person
to have her there. Because, like I said, she was just part of the crew.
Yeah.
And, you know, she always was kind of like the life of the party. She kept everybody together, and, you know, she was always the loudest one.
Halfway between high school and college, this summer, they say she was doing what she loved.
She was so passionate about it. When we were younger, she used to always say, I just don't have my niche. Like, all y'all know what y'all want to do, but I just don't know. And then we went on an Italy trip together, and 2 weeks when we got back, she discovered her love for flying. And then she just took off with it.
And, you know, flying, I feel like was kind of cool that she had come into that, because my dad flies planes too. And so she would always come over here and love to talk to him about everything that was going on. And he was the one that had gotten her kind of interested in Civil Air Patrol, because she was saying how she was thinking about being in the Air National Guard. And my dad was like, this would be a great step for you.
Becca and Caden say Lake was always honest and always had their best interest at heart.
She would always tell us exactly what she thought about whatever we were doing.
If we needed to hear it.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it was tough to hear what she had to say, but in the end, she was always right about it.
She was just looking out for us.
She truly always had our back. She really did.
She was a good friend.
The 2 are leaning on each other and their memories.
She was so brave and bold in everything that she did. And so we just have to remember to always try to be like that throughout the rest of our lives.
She always said, don't stay in your comfort zone. Always do something, you know, that feels new. And I think I'll always just push myself out there, and I'll remember her by carrying on her legacy. And we'll always talk about our memories together and just make sure that she's not forgotten.